Hibernian Hall in Roxbury has become a new destination for the arts in what's developing as a cultural district. The building was revitalized by the nonprofit Madison Park Development Corporation. It's also the setting for the corporation's annual fundraiser being held this Friday. To tell us about Sparks for the Arts are the corporation's CEO, Jeanne Pinado, and its communications manager, Kelly Ransom. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you.
Jeanne, for people who don't know about this already, tell me a little bit about the corporation, what it does, and what that has to do with the arts in Roxbury.
Yeah, Madison Park is a community development corporation. We were set up in 1966, and over the years we've built 1,300 homes for families, low income homes, moderate income rental homes. So over 2,000 people live in our housing in and around Dudley Square. Along the way, we got involved in commercial development, and so we own a couple of commercial buildings in Dudley Square, Hibernian Hall being a really fabulous historic building. We restored the old ballroom and do arts and culture there. But we're also more than just bricks and mortar, so big focus on the people and on people's lives and improving, taking a real holistic view of community development. And so the arts and culture are really an important part of that. We celebrate artists of color from the community, public safety campaigns, working with residents, youth development programs and job opportunities. We've really incorporated health and wellness activities in partnership with local hospitals in the work that we do. And resident leadership is really important. So how to really celebrate it and help resident leaders lead their organization, lead their community. And then finally, if we're not doing enough, civic engagement. So Roxvote, for example, had a big candidates forum last night. We brought in all the city councilors running for the at-large seat, and they engaged with over 200 residents in a kind of candidating event last night. So really thinking about a holistic view and the health of Roxbury overall.
Kelly, with this event, Sparks for the Arts, this is about the present and the future of Roxbury, but you're also sort of reviving what went on there in the past. This used to be, this is going to be in a ballroom where there used to be music, so I guess you're still going to have some music with this event.
Absolutely. We have all different types of entertainment at this event, and all of the performers are local to Roxbury. We're very excited to have Ashley Rose, who's doing a dance piece and some spoken word in there. D. Ruff, who is actually the son of one of our board members, he's going to be doing some spoken word. And we have Ashley Gordon from Castle of Our Skins doing a piece on the viola. And we have Zeely Music, who are going to be playing some music. And then the George Russell Band is going to be playing at the end of the night for us to all dance to. So it's really capturing the spirit that Hibernian Hall has always had, with lots of music and dancing and fun.
Yeah. And Jeanne, this is, I guess, one more example in a way of what's going on with the idea of a cultural district around Dudley Square. And I know that Madison Park's not the only group working on that, but why is that so important to the community, either in terms of economics or kids getting their education?
Yeah, well, I think, first of all, arts and culture are just a really key part of our humanity, right? We like to celebrate who we are as a people. Actually, the district is a real historic district. So there are several buildings on the National Register of Historic Places right in Dudley Square. There's an old cemetery where colonial governors are buried, and several of us have done beautiful.
You got the Dillaway Thomas House, too.
The Dillaway Thomas House. And so bringing people to the area to celebrate that culture and that history is a real important economic development strategy. And I think the Roxbury Cultural District will help us sort of really use that strategy to promote economic development.
Kelly, I guess this is one of the things you had in mind with the awards for this year's event too, right?
Right. So one of the awards, they're called the Community Catalyst Awards. So one of the awards that we're giving to is actually to one of the performers, Ashley Gordon from Castle of Our Skins. And the other is Boston Medical Center. So
yes. Doctors Megan Sandel and Thea James. Megan is a pediatrician by trade, right? And talks about housing as a prescription. So for a young patient suffering from asthma, housing is really the prescription for that child. And Megan's been doing research and writing papers and really is a national expert in connecting health and housing. And she's partnered with a terrific, another doctor from Boston Medical Center, Thea James. She's a emergency room doctor. And so Thea likes to say, I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. And so she also is thinking about the root cause of health inequity and the root cause of why people might end up in the emergency room and some of the trauma. And so the two of them together are absolutely fabulous partners to the community development field here in Boston. Boston Medical Center has written big checks to community development corporations to help with housing because it's such a key social determinant of health.
This is Being in the News, and we're talking with Jeanne Pinado and Kelly Ransom from the Madison Park Development Corporation. Kelly, what about some of the other activities? I know you mentioned performers,
Yes.
and
Oh, we
awards.
have so much fun going on.
Auctions, maybe?
We're having a very interesting auction this year. It's a silent auction, but our theme is masquerade. And we thought, well, some of these people are coming from work. They might not, have a mask in their car ready to go. So we were thinking of ways to provide our guests with some cool masks. It is the day after Halloween, after all. And we thought that we'd ask each program at Madison Park Development Corporation to choose a mask and write a little statement on what we could do with money raised from the masks. So this auction is going to be masks all picked from staff at Madison Park Development Corporation. And when people bid on it, any money raised will then go to that program, and then they can wear the mask at the event. We're also going to have a photo booth, which you can't not have at a masquerade gala. We're also having, on top of dinner, we're having a Roxbury food court where we're going to be featuring local Roxbury restaurants and having little bites and tastes from their establishments just to, promote them more to people who wouldn't normally be in Roxbury that night.
Jeanne, I want to ask you about looking back in your career. You're on your way out now as the CEO, and what about the way things have changed in community development? I imagine if you go back to the origins here, the origins of the corporation, talking about the urgency of affordable housing, and now you're getting into other things. I mean, how has that changed?
Yeah, I would say when I took the job 21 years ago, I thought I was going to be running a housing developer and an asset manager, right, of the existing portfolio. And lo and behold, we've become quite the multi-service organization. And I think it's grown organically. So part of the reason is that as we've developed housing and as we've been smart about preserving that housing and capitalizing on the value of the housing, we've been able to put resources into youth programs, arts and culture, violence prevention, trauma kind of work, resident leadership and civic engagement. So it's really the value of the real estate that's really generating a profit that we actually can then deploy to address a lot of the inequities that still exist in Roxbury.
And your successor?
Yeah, so we're unmasking my successor, but I'm happy to announce today too. I think it's exciting. So I announced to the board I was stepping down at the end of this year in March, and just this week the board has announced that Leslie Reed will be my successor. She'll become the CEO in November, and I'll be around through the end of December in a more advisory role. Leslie's the current vice president of programs at Madison Park, and so she's probably over everything but the real estate development aspect of the organization, and she's a terrific leader that I think will be terrific for the organization.
Finally, Kelly, one more reminder about the time, the place, and where to get more details.
So it is on Friday, November 1st from 6 to 10 p.m. at Hibernian Hall in Roxbury. And tickets are on sale now at madison-park.org online. And I think I got it all right there, right? Yeah. Come dressed up. Masquerade. Let's dance.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right.
Kelly Ransom and Jeanne Pinado from the Madison Park Development Corporation.